just giving credit to where I got some of my sources from. This gentleman's name is Kenneth Bailey. He wrote this book called Jesus Through Middle Eastern Eyes. It's probably one of the most interesting books. When Pastor was asking what we're passionate about, I'm passionate about culture. So this really looks at Middle Eastern experience through cultural lenses, and it's an excellent book. He's a specialist in Middle Eastern studies in Concordia in St. Louis. So we're going to bust down a parable tonight. And our text is coming from Luke 6:46 through 49, New King James Version. But why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do the things which I say? Whoever comes to me and hears me, my sayings and does them, I will show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently against the house. They could not shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But he who heard and did nothing is like the man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream beat vehemently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great. The text of this parable of the two builders is found in Matthew 7:24 through 27 and Luke 6:46 through 49. It is placed at the end of the Sermon on the Mount and at the end of the Sermon on the Plain. It is no accident that it is placed there. Pay attention to its position because it is an important part of the story. The Sermon on the Plain begins with the Beatitudes. It goes into the love your enemies and turn the other cheek, treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't judge and you won't be judged. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Can the blind lead the blind? Remove the log from your own eye before attending the splinter in your friends. A good tree does not produce bad fruit. And bad fruit cannot produce good fruit. And then it ends with, Lord, Lord. And the parable of the two builders. Kenneth Bailey, who wrote this commentary on our text, made this statement: dynamite comes in small packages. The parables are truly dynamic. A parable is a story that uses common events to illustrate a lesson, to convey a particular meaning. Parables are used to change our thinking, to shift our minds. I'm going to say that again. Parables are used to change our thinking, to shift our minds. They are told within a particular cultural context. When you understand the culture of Jesus' time, the parables become very powerful. They often use common things to relate deep spiritual ideas and refer to symbols and ideas relevant to their original culture. We cannot get the fullness of them without understanding what they are referencing. Matthew 6 states parables require reaction, a response. They have the power and the dynamos to change our thinking. These short stories teach us lessons and change our worldview. The parables are pertinent today because as we moved into a postmodern world, Jensen would say, we have returned to story. We are now in an electronic age instead of a written page. Both Luke and Matthew record the parable of the two builders. According to Bailey, this parable is sometimes, or even often, reduced to a children's story about a wise or foolish builder. But the parable carries a deeper meaning that transforms us from physical dependence to spiritual dependence. Listen, the people already knew about laying a foundation. For in Isaiah it says, behold, I lay in Zion a stone for a foundation, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. Whoever believes will not act hastily. Also, I will make justice the measuring line, and righteousness the plummet. The hail will sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters will overflow the hiding place. In Qumran, they believed that a perfect council of 12 and 3 men were the promise of God's foundation. Jerusalem knew God saved the people from the Egyptians. He saved them from the Syrians. And in spite of themselves, God did not abandon them, but laid a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation for all those who believe. placed in the middle, in the very center of the second temple, is the sacred Holy of Holies. In the Holy of Holies, there was a stone. The stone was called the foundation. Everybody say foundation.
Foundation.
Bailey states the average Jew loyal to the temple in the time of Jesus surely knew that the authorities had named a raised stone in the center of the Holy of Holies, the foundation. Listen close to how Jesus explains the foundation. It seems so logical to build your house on rock, doesn't it? But imagine, the time to build is summertime. The sun is beating down. The ground is hard as bronze. If you are building on a hill, you may be able to dig through a foot or so hard ground until you get rock. But if you are building in a valley, you may have to dig and dig and dig for many hot days, digging down as much as 10 feet. The ground does not seem to want to go anywhere. And you know the rock is somewhere underneath. You have to get the house built before the rain comes, and even the snow, because it snows a little bit in Israel. You have to get it done before it is cold, and you succumb to trying to dig through many feet of clay, and you are tired. Your back hurts, and you have to get it done. You know there is rock below, so you go ahead and you build. You get impatient. But when you build, you use mud for mortar, which is fine if the building is on rock. But if it gets wet, clay melts when it's wet. It dissolves and it turns to slimy, slippery slip. But everything is looking good, so you build your roof and are thankful that you finish before the rain begins. And the rain begins, and the water rushes round, and the clay starts to melt, and the mortar starts to dissolve, and the bricks start to buckle, and you become part of a mudslide. These are not new images that Jesus is bringing forward. Jesus knows the house will fall again. The Romans are going to come. The temple will be destroyed. He knows the ending of the story. We must shift our minds from the physical to the spiritual. The temple was still intact, but Jesus is pointing to a new temple, to a new foundation that is not found in a building, but is found in His Word, in His body. And if we build our lives on His foundation, we will not be destroyed when the rain comes. I want you to get real quiet right now. I want you to listen deeply. I want you to pretend you are back there. You're right there with Jesus on the plain. And He's speaking to the 12 apostles, and He's speaking to the crowd. And He has just taught you many things. And He's going to ask you, are you going to listen to me or are you not? And He's going to say this passage to you. Listen as if you're right there. But why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do the things which I say? Whoever comes to me and hears my saying and does them, I will show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently against the house and could not shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But he who heard and did nothing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream beat vehemently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great. Thank you. Dynamite comes in small packages. Amen.
Amen.
Right. Put that on tape.
Okay.
This is your book, Jesus through Middle.
Yeah.